Hey everyone, welcome back to our React series. In this section, we will explore conditional rendering in React. Conditional rendering allows us to show different UI elements based on condition, making our apps more dynamic and interactive. Let's dive in. So first, we have using if statement. It's the simplest way to conditionally rendering elements in React is by using if statement outside JSX. So here is the example. Let's see is an example. Now here is a functions component that greet user based on their login status. Now when we if is login it's true, it's return the welcome back, and its login is false, it's give up please log in. We copy this code and we open our greeting.js file, and here we paste it. Save this, and here is our app.js file. Now here we use a greeting. Now you can see here when we save this, now it's give me a please login. Why? Because we don't have give a value or a props to give what was actually we want. Now in here we use is login. Here we copy this smallest code, here we paste it, here we give what we want, here we use a true and save. Now you can see here is a welcome back. Now it's login. Now if it's false, what is shown in here, you can see here is a please login. Now if you are using class components, the logic is still the same, just inside a render method. Here we use an important React component from React. Here we use a class greeting extend components. We copy this code, paste it here. Here we save this. Now you can see here we have a please login. If we okay, something went wrong. If we here we use a true, it's a welcome back. Now here is the third example. So it's an important note, you cannot use if else directly inside JSX. JSX does not support control statement. Here is the incorrect syntax here. Now you can see if we use a if else inside JSX, it's not allowed. Now you can see here it's use a if, and here it's use a else, and it's not, it's give a error. Instead we use a ternary operator. Now you can see here we have a ternary operator. Here we have examples, the ternary operator conditional rendering inside of functions. Now we copy this code here and paste it here. You can see here it's give me a welcome back, and I give it a false value. Now you can see here is a please login. So directly in a JSX we not put it if else statement, we put a ternary operator. Now the ternary operator is shorthand way to handle conditional rendering inside JSX. Here you can see here we have a lots of code. I can see here is the second options using ternary operator in class component, which is the same as it is, it's give a same answer, and it's a shortened if else statement inside JSX. Now the third one is a toggling login status with a button. We copy this code and paste it here. Now we save this. I can see here is a login, please login, and when I click on here we use a true. Now it's give me a welcome back. Next is using logic and operator. If you only need to render something when a condition is true, use the AND operator. Here is the example. You need to see here displaying notifications. We have functions notification, props, return. Here we have a div dashboard, and here we have a props.has message, and here is you have a new message. Now here we use a export default function app, and here we use return notification has message true. Now we copy this code and paste it in our app.js file. Instead of this, we save this. Now you can see we have a dashboard, you have a new message. If we use here false value, now you can see what is the output. Now you can see here is nothing like a paragraph, here is only a heading. Then the next is a show and hide button based on state, like a hiding or showing a button based on login state. Now here we have a import use state react functions button. Now here welcome to my app, and we copy this code and paste it here. Now you can see here is the greeting. Now we paste it here. Here we use a normal greeting. We save this. You can see here we have a login. Please login. Now we use a false statement. Here we use a login. Here we use a true. We save this. You can see here we have a welcome to my app, and here is the logout button. Now we click on that. Now you can see here is the login. It's toggle. It's toggle. So here is the third examples. Conditional UI elements. Here we have a user profile is premium, and now you can see here we have a premium member and join premium for more benefits. Now we copy this code here, paste it in our greeting file, save this. You can see here is a premium member. Now if we use a false here, you can see join premium for more benefit. The next is a switching case for multiple conditions. If you have multiple condition, a switch statement is a better approach. So first example is handling different status messages. Now we copy these lines of code, paste it here. You can see here is the status message. Now we use a status message here. Save this. Now you can see here is the unknown status. Now here we use a status. So give me unknown status here. Now use here a status like props. So use status. We give here curly braces. Now we save this. Now you can see here is the loading. If you use a success and save this, you can see data loaded successfully. If we use error and save this, I can see something went wrong. So here is the switch case statement for multiple conditions. So this is useful for handling multiple cases like loading, success, and error states. And the next is a dynamic state functions component. So here we use our import react function app, and now you can see here we have a lots of functions. Now we copy whole code, paste it here. Now you can see here is the code. Here we have a functions app. Here we use a constant status set status equals to use state loading. Here we use a button click loading success error, and we use set status here. Now here is a loading success error messages. Now we save this. Now you can see here we have a set loading. Now we have use a set success. Now you can see data loaded successfully. If we click on set error, now you can see something went wrong, and if we return set loading, now you can see it's loading. And here is the last one is a conditional rendering using IIFE in React. And immediately invoke functions expression is useful for keeping a condition inside JSX without extra variables or if else statement outside JSX. So if you need inline condition inside JSX, you use an IFX. Now you can see here is the example functions status props. Now you can see here we have arrow functions if prop welcome back return please login, and this approach avoids declaring extra variables outside JSX. Now we copy this code here. Here we use a user status props. Here we use user status. Now we save this, and here we use a status message. So it is this. It's a please login. use here a state like use states, use a login to see. Here we use a true. Not kidding. Welcome back. And that's wraps on conditional rendering in React. Today we cover using if statements outside JSX, using ternary operator for inline condition, the AND operator for simple condition, the switch statement for multiple condition, if for keeping JSX clean. Now it's your turn. Try implementing this in your React project. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Keep smiling and happy coding. Thank you.